Hey gang, welcome to another Tales from the Pit. I am Sonny's head pit master, Shannon Snell. We made each one of these recipes in under 30 minutes. Let's check it out. Hello, Tales from the Pit fam. It is great to see everybody again. I am Sonny's head pit master, Shannon Snell. We are back with another Tales from the Pit. I've been busy, guys. I've been super busy. A lot of stuff going on. So I said, hey, I got a family of 6. We got a lot of stuff going on. They still love my barbecue. So I thought in mind, I said, hey, I want to do barbecue meals that are going to take 30 minutes or less. For a lot of you families that are on the move, that are traveling a lot, that still want to have a home cooked meal, but have that barbecue flair, that barbecue taste. And we're going to start off with barbecue street corn. I did say that, barbecue street corn. I know a lot of you have heard of Mexican street corn. This is barbecue street corn, all right? I got that pit master crazy mindset. So we're gonna do barbecue street corn. So what I have right here in front of me is some parboiled corn. We're gonna do some stuff to this, some cool stuff, by the way, candied bacon, all right, that's coming. We're gonna take this on over to the grill. We're gonna grill it up, and we're gonna get on with this barbecue street corn. So let's head on over. All right, so I'm over at my grill right now. I have these corn on the cob that I'm gonna get on here. Now my grill's heated up to about 400 degrees. 400 or better is good because you need a good sear. Like I said, them being parboiled is really good, so you don't have to keep them on for long. That sizzle, right? This is ASMR, that sizzle. It's good to have this corn parboiled because they're not gonna be on here for long. You're gonna get some good grill marks on them, some nice char on them, because it makes sense, right? You talk about barbecue street corn, it's gotta be kind of have a barbecue flair. So getting some char on your corn is optimal, is really a big part of what makes this corn so great. Yeah, this char is exactly what you want. You see those nice kind of browning lines? That's that good flavor. All right, it's gonna pair well. That sweetness is gonna come out a little bit in that corn, and that's exactly what you're gonna look for, that flavor in barbecue street corn. So you're just gonna flip them after really every 90 seconds. You see that char starting to happen. Now don't burn them, okay? Make sure your grill is not shooting up flames because you don't want to burn this corn. It can happen pretty quickly and pretty easily. So make sure during this process, you want to make sure you brush this corn with some olive oil. That olive oil is a nice high point oil as far as heat is concerned. It's gonna bust those flames up a little bit. It's gonna create a little bit more of a barrier with the corn. Look at that. That's when you start getting some of that really nice char, when this oil starts combining with this corn, it combines with the flame. You can see some of that oil that's kind of going on the bottom starting to rise up, which means they're starting to absorb a lot of that flame, a lot of that oil. And brush all this olive oil on it. You don't have to kind of stop at a little bit. Brush all the olive oil on top of it. Now, if you don't like olive oil, you can use another high point oil like canola, like some maybe grapeseed oil. It's all good. You don't have to use olive oil, but make sure you use an oil because you like to have a little bit of these flames shooting up. Kind of create this char, create some of this good stuff that's going around on this corn. Whew. All right, corn's done. It's hot over that grill, but I got what I wanted. This corn looks phenomenal. I got the char marks that I wanted. Now, simple thing is we just got to remove the corn from the cob. That's the next step. Look at all that nice, beautiful char. That's what we really work for. Make sure you have a little small paring knife on hand. It's easy to kind of get the kernels off the corn with this. So we're just shaving all the corn off. Make sure you get all that char that you work for. Shave it all down. Right, that's all. Okay, I'm gonna finish removing all the corn off these cobs. It's just gonna take me a minute or two, so I'll be right back to start working on this bacon. See you in a sec. So next up comes the bacon. It's one of my favorite proteins, right? Bacon goes good with everything from vegetables, as we're seeing with the street corn, to itself with pork. You know, you ever did a bacon wrapped pork tenderloin? God, you need to try it. But we're gonna do this bacon, we're gonna grill it. Now make sure you cut your grill down to a lower temperature, all right? That's super important. And remember, you were at 400 degrees when you were grilling the corn. It needs to go in a low setting when you're doing bacon, okay? Open it up for a little bit, let it kind of vent out, and then you can get your bacon on. You wanna hear something sexy? Check this out. You gotta love when bacon goes on the grill because it just sounds great. It's gonna be on here for just a few minutes, okay? You can cook your bacon to really any temperature you want. If you like a little bit of crispier bacon, great. If you like your bacon a little bit less done, that's totally fine, but just make sure it's cooked for a little bit. So it's nice. You should be able to flip bacon, and if you're cooking on the lowest settings, look at those grill marks. That's something you don't really see on bacon. If you're doing it on the stove, you're doing it somewhere else, You're doing it, you know, in the oven. Grill marks are great, guys. Like I said, I'm a pit master, and pit masters do wild and crazy stuff, right? Including putting grill marks on bacon. This is griller's paradise right here, baby. So we're gonna close this up for just a minute, get this bacon, flip it a few times, get it all done, and then we're gonna do something really cool to it. All right, so we're done with the bacon. You can see the nice grill marks. One thing I did is I took some brown sugar and I just kind of sprinkled it over top while I was finishing up on the grill over there. You can see the nice glaze on it, right? I add brown sugar to pretty much everything. One thing you can also do is take a dust of this cayenne pepper and just go right over the top. Disclaimer, as you've seen in some of our previous Tales from the Pit videos, cayenne, a little goes a long way, okay? So do not overdo it, all right? After you do that, you can take your bacon and rough chop it. Super important that you rough chop it down to a size that's gonna be good for a nice bite size for everybody that's gonna get some of this street corn. It's nice because you can hear that bacon, how crispy I got it. And that's exactly what the grill does. Plus you can still see the char and the grill marks on there. A lovely part of what you do on the grill is that those grill marks and that char can't be replicated. So do it on the grill, you'll thank me later. All right, build time, all right? We got our corn that we put in the bucket right here. So corn's gonna go in, on top goes the bacon. Now I didn't say this was calorie friendly, I said this was time friendly, okay? So on top of that, we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese, and that's the grated kind. You can add fresh shredded, but I like the grated kind, it's pretty good. Okay, a little bit of lemon juice. This is a staple in Mexican street corn. So I'm gonna add a little bit to our mix here. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt here. A little bit goes a long way, guys. A little bit of salt, dash of pepper. Okay, I'm just gonna take my spoon and mix that up. Look how nice that looks. I mean, it really does have a nice contrast of flavors. Now you're gonna finish it up with a little bit of cilantro. And to finish it off, you got tahini. Boom. All right, check that out. Look at the nice contrasted colors. Look at how well it presents. This is BBQ Street Corn. Taste this. Woo! Okay. I sound like a choo-choo train there, but this will make you like a choo-choo train. This is good. The bacon, the crunchiness of the bacon, that Parmesan and that lime really sets it off. This is BBQ Street Corn. Go try it, like right now. Do it. So, now we are moving on to our next under 30-minute barbecue meal. So you're thinking, well, you see some honey, you see some brown sugar and some salt and some cinnamon and some black pepper here. You're thinking I might be making a cake or doing something with a protein. I'm actually not, right? I'm not a big fan of vegetables. I never have been, but I found this unique way as a pit master, as a crazy person, to form those vegetables into something that's really appetizing and almost kind of like a dessert. And we have our honey glazed brown sugar carrots. You heard me, honey glazed brown sugar carrots. They're fantastic, guys. I love the grill. I love honey. I love brown sugar. Yet I want to form carrots into something that's appetizing, that's fun, and that a crowd can just absolutely love. So I decided to do honey brown sugar glazed carrots. All right. So one thing I did here is I took some carrots and I actually peeled them and chopped them up until actually like long thin slices. Now if you're gonna grill them, which I'm gonna do here in just a few seconds, you're gonna want them a little bit thin. Carrots are a really kind of dense kind of vegetable. They're hard. On a grill, you wanna soften them up, and the best way to do it is to make it thinner so that the heat can hit the entire carrot. And the best way to do that is to actually slice them into long thin slices, just like this. All right, they're actually pretty cool, pretty simple. You wanna make sure you use a long chef's knife and make sure it's sharp. Also be very careful because the carrot can roll around. Just make sure when you're chopping into it and making these slices that you have some protection on that left hand or your right hand. It depends on what hand you're using the knife with. And just make sure that you're very extra careful because you can cut yourself pretty good. Also, another available item that you may find at the grocery store, depending on what grocery store you go to, are these kind of rainbow baby carrots. These don't need to be sliced. These can go right on the grill, and they cook pretty quickly because they're a lot thinner than their big brother of the orange carrots. So it's time to grill these babies up with a little bit of butter. Yes, butter, you're gonna need it. We're gonna take it on over to the grill. Let's grill them up. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we're over at our grill, turned up to high. We're gonna want a nice sear on these carrots. Remember, it's gonna take them, it's gonna be pretty quick. As you kind of cut them into those long, thin strips, they're gonna cook pretty quickly. We're gonna brush them with some melted butter, some salt and pepper on it. That's all you're gonna do over here at the grill. Just get them kind of nice and soft or almost al dente. Really, it's your flavor of what you wanna do, but you still wanna make sure you get those nice char marks that give those carrots that great flavor. So just gonna get these babies on right now. All right, you just take this melted butter, just brush it right on over top. And guys, remember, it's melted butter. It's the good stuff. It's gonna help create a lot of those char marks on these carrots. So make sure you brush them nice and evenly. Now don't pour the entire thing of butter on, but just make sure you brush some nice strips on there, brush some nice strokes on there, and get them nice and covered. A little bit of salt goes a long way. Okay. And also a little bit of pepper. A bit more butter. Look at that. Just that beautiful char. That's what you work for. And oh, look at that. That nice grill mark that we talk about. There's nothing better than that. That feels great right there. That's what you work for. That's the good stuff. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell these. You can even smell the carrots starting to sizzle. Kind of some of that sweetness, that really earthiness of what a carrot is. And this is why I love grilling vegetables. All right, I'm doing carrots now, but you can do zucchini like this. There's a lot of vegetables that you can do this very same way. Right, we're just gonna finish these carrots up. Now I'm gonna let them cook a little bit longer. You can see that they're starting to kind of wilt up. That means they're cooking all the way through. And remember, you can cook to your tenderness. You can go all the way, al dente. You just want to make sure that they have this nice char on them, that they feel good. All right, we're closing it up. We're gonna let them finish up, and we'll be back. All right, look at these carrots, guys. You hear the silence? It's because they look so phenomenal, okay? But we're not done yet, all right? We still have to glaze them. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take that brown sugar that you remember that we talked about. That actually goes in. That honey. I love doing this. It's nice honey drizzle. Oof, nothing better than that. Honey goes in. Now, this next step is cinnamon. Now, if you have something like allspice, or if you have something like cloves, that'll be great as well. If you're allergic to it, or if you have some kind of tolerance that you don't have to it, don't stick it in there. The first two ingredients you should love. This one, understandably so if you don't add it, but I'm gonna add mine to it. All right, I'm gonna take my spoon. I'm just gonna kind of mix it up to a nice kind of thick paste, if you will. All right, like so. Okay, and there's nothing left but to do it. When I say do it, that means take our brush, and we're gonna brush down our carrots with it. Now, it's super important that you do this while the carrots are still hot, all right, because we want them to glaze over. We want some of those sugars to really break down. If you don't do it, then you're gonna get kind of like a clumpy mess on the top. But while they're still hot, which should take a while, I mean, they should be hot for a while, you're gonna love that. Brush, brush, brush. All right, there's never too much butter and brown sugar and honey on top of a carrot, okay? Use the whole thing if you want to. A few more strokes here. Okay, here we go. Look at that. All right, look at those beautiful char marks. Look at, like, you can even see the honey and the brown sugar starting to kind of glaze up on the carrot. You know me, I'm a pit master. I have to be able to taste it, all right? I don't want to give you guys anything. I call it quality assurance. That's what I'm gonna call it. So I'm gonna take quality assurance bite and tell you how it is. I need a deeper breath here. Just give me a second. Okay, now let me describe this to you. The charness is fantastic. If you don't grill vegetables, I'm gonna give you a reason why, and this is the reason why. Because that char that you bite into it, mixed with the brown sugar, mixed with actually the natural sweetness of the carrot, is absolutely freaking phenomenal, okay? Please try this, okay? I'm not steering you wrong here. I'm gonna finish this carrot up, but we're gonna move on to the next recipe. See you in a sec. I'm gonna eat this though. All right, I'm gonna say these words and you're gonna love me for them. Dill garlic butter steak bites. Right here, okay? We got 2 ribeye steaks right here, all right? We're talking about meals that are under 30 minutes. And what better meal than a steak meal, right? A meal from a steak, all right? We're gonna do a lot of cool things to this. Right now, I'm actually getting these up to room temperature. There's 2 kinds of people. People that take their steak and season it when it's cold, or people that take it at room temperature and they season it at that point. I'm a room temperature guy. I think the juices come out a little bit more. Some of that myoglobin comes out, gets nice and juicy up to room temperature, and then I season it. So I'm gonna do right now. Have some kosher salt right here. I'm just gonna go right in. And I use kosher salt because kosher salt melts over the steak. All right, iodized salt, it's a little bit more pungent, a little bit heavier. Kosher salt has a nice meltability around it. I season both of them, like so. All right. Also got some thicker grade black pepper, 16 mesh, 18 mesh. It's not the ground black pepper, it's the black pepper that you'll find in a restaurant quality. You'll find it at, you can grind your own down. This is really good stuff because it creates a really nice crust. You add that to it, and don't be shy with it, okay? Steaks don't have a lot of flavoring other than just like the intramuscular fat in it. That's super important that you know that, because the lower quality of meat, now these are prime, all right, these are prime ribeyes, but the lower quality, so if you start going down to choice or select, the more seasoning it's gonna need because it doesn't have a lot of marbling to it. So keep that in mind as you're selecting your steaks or your seasoning. All right, and the last ingredient is some garlic, okay? Gotta add that garlic to it because it is a steak. Garlic pairs really well with steak. Salt and pepper can naturally pair well with everything, but garlic is one of those things that gives it a distinct flavor, feels good, tastes good, all that good stuff. So we're just gonna put a little garlic on it. And remember, what you do to one side, you gotta flip it over and do it to the other side. So boom. All right, same thing, salt. Okay, pepper. And garlic. Let's remember, SPG, always your best friend. If you're trying to look to a season to go to, SPG always works. Salt, pepper, garlic. Just like so. Okay. Also, another tip here is if the steak needs to be trimmed up a little bit, you have a little fat around the edge, you can trim it up. It'll be totally fine. But leave that fat. That fat's going to break down. It's going to render down really nice. Take those edges, kind of dab it in that seasoning so you can get the edges as well. Rule number 1 in my barbecue Bible, don't rub a rub, don't rub it, okay? Steaks are done. I'm gonna take these on over to the grill. All right, so we got our grill turned up to highs, right at about 600 degrees, but when we open it, start grilling, it's gonna get to around 450. You wanna hear that nice sear, okay? You need to make sure that this is kind of heated up, been heated up for about 20 minutes. We're gonna wanna cook these to medium rare. We talked about 30 minutes or less, medium rare, because if you wanna be able to heat these back up for the next day or do anything with them following this actual stage, medium rare is good. Just know that that juice that comes out of a steak is called myoglobin. All right, that's the juiciness, that's the stuff that actually is good for a steak and that keeps the steak nice and juicy. Okay, it's okay to go medium rare, medium. It's actually recommended here because we want to be able to use these for following days, not just for today. All right, so no well dones, okay? No medium wells. So I'm gonna cook this steak for roughly about 8 minutes. That's a 4-minute turn. So to do grill marks, you always wanna go 2, so 2 o'clock, and then go across to 7 o'clock, and then you wanna go to 10 o'clock, and you wanna go across to 5 o'clock. Put those nice diamond marks on it. See this edge right here? This is part of the spinalis. You can actually see it starting to separate. This spinalis is the best part of the steak. It's gonna be the most tender. As you can see right here, starting to break down a little bit. That is what you love in a steak. That is what a steak should be. And that will be what we like to call in the barbecue world, the money in, the money shot. All right, so it's been about 6, 7, 8 minutes now, just judging off of my watch. So what I'm gonna do is just take these steaks and flip them on over. You can see those nice grill marks that are happening on this steak. It's exactly what you want. You want that steak to start, and as you notice those grill marks, you notice that the steak is gonna be cooked relatively even on this side. If you don't see grill marks, then your steak's probably not done all the way through. It's gonna need a little bit of a longer time on the opposite side once you flip. Now, we're gonna let these steaks cook for a little bit. Here's my thermometer. This is important in cooking when you're grilling a steak, a burger, chicken. This is super important because for quality and for safety purposes, most proteins have to get past 135 degrees, okay? The rare exception to this would be a beef product. Beef does not have to get to 135 degrees. So if you're cooking pork, it's got to go over 135. If you're cooking chicken, it needs to go over to 165, right? But beef does not. Beef is safe to eat at a lower temperature than those of pork and or chicken. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to temp this. So we're taking a look at it right now. It's approaching 120 degrees. We're almost right where we want to be. About 130 degrees, so we're going to pull this off right now, and we want this thing to rest. We want these steaks to rest for all those juices to seal back up. So we're going to pull them off. We're going to take them back over to our cutting board, and we will see you in just a second. All right, steaks are off, steaks are rested, steaks back on the board, steaks smelling good, Shannon's hungry. So we're gonna get to this, we're gonna get to a point where we need to slice. So they've been resting. So everybody asks, should you rest your proteins once they come off of a grill or smoker? The simple answer is yes, it's never no, okay? Never cut a steak directly off of a grill. Give it a 10, 15 minute, just a resting period so all those pores can close back up and all the juice can seal back in. You see here, this one's nice and rested. It's rested down, so we cooked it up to about 125, 126 degrees. I let it rest. It got down to probably about 118, 119. Still good to go. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and cut into this steak and make these into like little tiny inch cubes. Knife, sharp, careful, cut yourself, bad, no. All right, cool. The lovely thing about this is that, look at this steak, okay? This is a perfect medium steak, all right? It's nice and pink in the middle, still warm. All right, so if you want your steak somewhat more on the more done side, go to medium. This is still great. It's still juicy, and that juice is still sealed up in there. You see that? The juice is kind of glistening on the outside. So make sure you rest your steak and make sure you don't cook it up too far of a temperature. Okay? I'm just cutting these up into bites. Just cutting them up into bites. Remember, quality assurance, you know, it's damn good, okay? I'm still doing it. But we're gonna make it better. Good, okay. Steak bites are done. All right, you can pile them up in a nice large pile right here. Just like so. All right, because we still got another step left to do to it. So what we're gonna do is take our melted butter right here. We're gonna add just a little bit, a pinch of that salt, some of that pepper, some of that garlic that we used earlier. Now this is where it gets really fun, is because one of my favorite spices is dill. You're gonna add this dill right to the entire mix. And you're gonna kind of just mix it up. Mix that up all the way. And now for the moment of truth. Here we go. Oh, 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 oh. I know I have an angelic voice, okay, but look at this right here. Look at that. Now, if you've never had dill and you never had steak together, they are fantastic. They are great. They are one of the two things as far as meat and spices that go together that are absolutely fantastic. Let me tell you something. This is like unbelievable because the dill really sets off the flavor of that beef. It sets off the flavor of all that spice in there. This is a winner. You guys need to try this. It's a walkaway moment. So yeah, that's it. Those are our 3 barbecue meals in under 30 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had fun making them, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching them. And also like and comment and subscribe. That would mean a lot to us. I'll see you guys next time. I'm Sonny's Barbecue Head Pit Master, Shannon Snell. You guys take it easy.